Big day at Sha Tin with a 10-race card, and the Lion Rock Trophy is our feature race. That's a Group 3 handicap conditions over the 1,600 metres, but the undercard is it's very strong indeed as well. Very warm welcome to the show. I'm Angela Lejeune. Please say I'm joined here in the studio by our form analyst in Paul Lally and race caller Tom Wood as well. Tom, the feature race number 7. Good lineup here, but there's any number of great races underneath it as well.
It's a really good card for a Sha Tin Sunday afternoon. We've got a simulcast race coming through from Japan as well, but on the domestic front, there's a lot to look forward to with the Lion Rock Trophy. And that race, as well as Beauty Joy, we know how good a form he's been in, but race 7, the Lion Rock Trophy, is followed up by race 8. That's an absolute belter. It is. Race 9, which is followed by race number 10 as well, is a really good one on the card as well, with a number of horses returning. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Paul, what about jackpot-wise?
Yeah, there's a couple of jackpots as well. 1.7 million going into the triple trio, and also 1.2 million going into the third double trio as well. So a couple of really good jackpots, and as you say, there's even racing throughout the card.
OK, well, as always, we're going to focus in on a couple of the races here. We'll be looking at races 3 and the feature, the Lion Rock Trophy. Race number 7, as we start to get towards the business end of the season. This is meeting 75 of the 88 set for the campaign. 8 on the turf. We're on the B course and a couple of races on the all-weather. You can see there Class 2 coming up as race number 3, 1,800 metre Class 3 halfway through the programme. Lion Rock Trophy, and then races 8, 9 and 10 is an absolutely barnstorming finish to the card. The third event, though, as well, will start. This is over the 2,000 metres. We've got 10 going to post. Field is headed by Money Catcher, who was third in the Derby. He's had a couple of starts since, finished third on both occasions as well. Turin Red Sun third to Beauty Joy last time out, who goes round in the feature. Charity Goer last start winner. Berlin Tango, his maiden victory last time here in Hong Kong. That was on the all-weather. Enjoying should roll forward. Flying Quest will go back. Looking great down in class. Running Gloria, beaten favourite last time out. Above, coming out of the Champions and Chater Cup, and Bourbon, just his 5th start here in Hong Kong. He comes up in class. Wagner Borges will ride him for John Size. All right, we start, as we always do, with the speed map, try and work out where everyone's going to land. Good to slow, Tom, we're saying in the early stages here. Who are the key runners to look out for? Well, Enjoying, no doubt, is one of those. He tried to lead them up in, of course, the Queen Mother Memorial Cup with a very, very slow section there. A few slow sectionals over the 2,400 metres. I think Money Catcher should be in close attendance. Looking great. I thought he was a little disappointing last start. Paul, maybe the drop back to 2,000 metres will help him.
Yeah, I think it probably will. Yeah. And this is a little bit easy as well. Well, and Bourbon, the other one, he's come up in trip, so we'll see him. I think he'll get a nice enough run. Running Glory, he generally gets back, but he's got a good finish. Above's drawn wide, so that's why I thought he might go back. Yeah, he's dropping in class and in trip above out of that Group 1 contest last time out. Right, we've got a couple of replays to have a look at. First up, though, we're going to start off at track work here. Nick Child was out early in the morning. Catch up with Matthew Chadwick, who'll be riding Enjoying.
Matthew, Enjoying is a horse for a ride on Sunday. You've only ridden him a handful of times, but he won a nice race in the Group 3 last time.
Yeah, he ran up to the standard. They all seemed to come home in their handicap position, so he ran where we probably thought he was expected. But he put up a good effort in the straight, so we'll see what he can go on to do.
He drops back a couple of furlongs in trip 2000. I know you've only got limited experience on him, but do you feel that's possibly sort of around about his best trip this season?
Well, he's a stayer, so we haven't got many options anyway with him. So he seems to like Sha Tin a lot better than Happy Valley, so he's got to run somewhere.
He's a pace angle. Just having a look at the race, doesn't seem to be an abundance of speed. Do you feel he's a happy horse, certainly leading? He has shown his best form from the front.
He's just, again, he's pretty much one pace. He's happy where he's comfortable. As long as he can keep striding out, he'll be hitting the line reasonably well.
And obviously from gate number 4, I guess that, it's a relatively small field, but it does allow you the opportunity, I suppose, to be able to roll forward quite easily.
Yeah, well, hopefully the rest of the field knows his racing pattern and just lets us go on with it.
Be nice, wouldn't it, just to be left alone? Set your own fractions there, but that's the plan with Enjoying. For barrier 4, I'm sure he will find the front. There's a few we need to take into consideration, though, Tom, here. Bourbon still lightly raced, Flying Quest and Turin Red Sun, who's put in a good trial since. Yeah, I did like the trial of Turin Red Sun coming into this. Now, last start he was beyond midfield. I thought he was running on well at the end, though, and I think when it comes to sort of the Derby form, Paul, what he'd sort of shown before going into the Derby, I think connections were a little bit disappointed with the way he ran actually in the Derby, Turin Red Sun.
Yeah, he was quite well supported, wasn't he, for the Derby, and he'd run really well in the 2 lead-up races. So, look, I think he can bounce back in this. I haven't got him on a win line, but I have got him on a minor line.
And that was Beauty Joy winning the race. probably go pretty close to being favourite for our main event on the afternoon. This is the trial then, Paul, Turin Red Sun and Flying Quest, who's generally sort of held up for a late run. Most of his winning has been done at Happy Valley, but he has won at Sha Tin.
He has, and look, he can pop up at big odds occasionally as well, Flying Quest. But look, this is the trial. He got the nice run just in behind. The stable's going really well with Turin Red Sun. Alexi Bedell aboard for him, and once again he knows the horse very well. So look, yeah, I think he's one of the chances.
The horse just to his outside running third there is Soulmate, who just missed out on Wednesday night at Happy Valley. On Flying Quest, course and distance winner, off a mark of 86 here. His last one came off 80, so he still might be just slightly higher yet.
All right, what about Money Catcher then? Tom, Derby third behind Romantic Warriors, beaten here by Charity Go, looking great, and good old Enjoying there out wide.
Yeah, so he was on the turf here, and I thought he had every chance. I thought he was a little disappointed not to win this race this time round, Money Catcher, but he has to certainly be respected here. Charity Go, Paul, hasn't won course and distance, but has placed 6 times, so he has to be respected, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. And look, I just think Money Catcher's a better horse at Sha Tin. I think this is his opportunity to win. He had a go in the all-weather as well, and he ran okay, but his good runs, the one third behind the Derby, which is probably his best run in Hong Kong, was at Sha Tin.
Okay, Running Glory comes up in class here. He's beaten this day. It's a softish sort of track, Paul, and there has been a little bit of rain around, but I think hopefully it should be good ground. Gets a little bit sort of stuck, which way am I going? Eventually dead heats for second place.
Yeah, and look, his best work was late, wasn't he, when he's wide? He's up to 2,000 metres, which looks good for this horse as well, and he has got a light weight. So there's a lot of positives, I think, around Running Glory. So, look, I've included him.
Absolutely. He kept coming over the final stages, only a couple more hops, and he might have been able to win the race, Running Glory. It's a 4-year-old. He's sort of been a little bit of a late starter here in Hong Kong, but what he's been able to produce has been very good.
Yeah, I quite like him again here, Running Glory. And finally then, Tom, Bourbon. Limited opportunities for him so far. This is just start number 5, but there's clearly something there.
Yeah, and he's backing up from last weekend. He ran home in 22.77 here behind Precise Express, and sort of the other day you sort of need to be up sort of closer to the speed to sort of, and he was making ground down the middle part of the track here. He's gradually getting there. Paul Wagner-Bohr just jumps back on.
Yeah, and the way he finished off this race, you think the 2,000 metres is going to suit the horse. So look, he's another one that goes in. I think he's a good chance in this contest.
Okay, just the 10 runners going round, Paul, but outside of above, it's about 20 to 1. They've all got, well, he's still got a chance, but they're all pretty even.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the theme of the whole day here, and this is one of the examples. And so I'm going to go with the top one here, Money Catcher. I like the fact he's coming back to Sha Tin. He's still a maiden, but look, he's ran third in the Derby, and that Derby form has looked really good since. Running Glory in there for second, another one up to 2,000 metres, Bourbon and Turin Red Sun. So 1, 8, 10 and 2.
Similar numbers, just a different order, but agree certainly with that Money Catcher here. Just has to shoulder the top weight. Zach Purton for Frankie Law. I think he'd be better here over 2,000 metres at Sha Tin. Money Catcher. Bourbon certainly makes it in. Drawn barrier number 3. Closed off well from beyond midfield last weekend. Running Glory and Turin Red Sun off the back of that third last start, and what looked to be a good trial win from him recently. He's nicely drawn. 1, 10, 8 and 2.
Money Catcher definitely goes in. He's got to give £11 though to Running Glory, and I think the step up in trip will suit him. So I'll stick with him, although he was beaten last time out. Now, after the break, we're looking at the feature race, the Lion Rock Trophy, plus all the best bets. That's still to come. Hong Kong racing heads to Sha Tin on Sunday for a 10-race programme. The feature is the Lion Rock Trophy. We're having a look at that in a second. Don't forget you can catch all of the races, though, on the audio-video section of the website, each and every of the 10 races. So the feature race, headed by Mighty Giant. A number of these dropping out of Group 1 races. Mighty Giant, Champions Way, coming out of the Champions Mile. Savvy 9 out of the QE2. Excellent Proposal also out of the Champions Mile. And Healthy Happy as well. Beauty Joy comes up in class. He was an impressive last start winner. Silver Express comes up in class as well. And right down at the bottom there, My Sugar. This is run under handicap conditions, the Group 3 contest. So My Sugar just shouldering a 114 with Jerry Chow in the saddle. All right, to speed map. Good, we should say, in the early stages here. Tom, does everyone find their spot? Maybe not Mighty Giant, stuck out on a limb.
Might be a little bit awkward for him, and sometimes he can be the odd time a little slow away to Mighty Giant. But Healthy Happy, he likes to lead. He ran second in this race last year, but hasn't found much in his last couple of runs now. Healthy Happy. Beauty Joy, Paul, should get the perfect run really in the box seat, you'd think, from barrier number 2. Silver Express in close attendance there from barrier number 3. And Cheerful Day is interesting. They popped the blinkers back on because the blinkers have worked for him this season.
They have, haven't they? I wonder what they do with My Sugar with the lightweight. I mean, there is the option to press forward with My Sugar. He has led in the past. But up in class, I just wonder if they'll try and take that cover and sit behind Silver Express, who's 1 from 1 over the course and distance.
All right, before we have a look at the key races, we'll hear from Joe Moreira as well. Have a look at the roll of honour for this race, and Moreira does feature as well with Derby winner Sky Darcy. And going back to the very first running, Tom, Rapid Dragon, what a champion he was.
He was. Sad we didn't ever get to see the best of Rapid Dragon, but it is in its short history, this race, Paul, a race that has either been dominated by, in terms of riding, Joe Moreira, training, Tony Cruz or John Moore. Yeah,
it does look that way, doesn't it? And some good horses have won the race. I mean, Sky Darcy, obviously, as you said, Rapid Dragon. So the Golden Age as well. So look, there's some good horses coming through then. Yeah, and of course, Champions Way, who's lining up this year as well. So Joe Moreira seems like a pretty good place to start, in actual fact. And this year he's riding Excellent Proposal.
Joe, Excellent Proposal is your mount in this year's Lion Rock Trophy, a race that you've got a very good record in. Looking forward to riding him?
Yeah, he's been racing well. Apparently he's found his form again, and it's a race which I'm quite familiar with, and apparently I've got a very good ride to be competitive in the race. I know it's there is few horses there with good forms as well, but I believe he's up to that, and hopefully he does his best. Yeah,
your horse has got some very good form. Obviously the most recent piece of form was third in the Champions Mile behind Golden 60. Now, when you came in off that race, you said to me that that's the best horse I've ever seen in Hong Kong. Yours ran third. The form is rock solid.
Well, definitely. He's been running against outstanding horses. So apparently this is not the same class of horse that he's going to be running against. So that gives me even more confidence that he's capable to win this race. Once again, I gotta express, it is a strong race. There is few horses there that also will be very competitive, but I'm going into the race with plenty of confidence.
Yeah, obviously, I think with a horse like him, you can be obviously on the best of his form, especially. Recent trial for him, Joe, as well. He looked to trial quite nicely leading up to this.
He did. He trialled very well. He's in good form, and I see no reason why he wouldn't be able to produce his best.
Have the gallops replicated the trial as well?
I haven't been on him on his gallops, but apparently he's in good form. He's doing everything all right, so we just got to wait for the race day.
Finally, would it fill you with a bit of fulfilment to win on this horse this season? Now, he's had a winless campaign, and I mean, without doing him too much of a disservice, he is a little bit frustrating, I think it's fair to say. How much would it mean to you just to finally tick that win on this horse this season?
Yeah, as you know, I won a few races with him early on his career here in Hong Kong, and then at his main win, I wasn't on board. So it is a bit of a disappointment for myself, not being on him when he won his biggest race. It would be a very meaningful thing for me if I can get him to win after coming from a long period of time without winning another race. So I'm no doubt looking forward to the race.
He was brilliant when he won the Classic Mile last season. First leg of the 4-year-old series. Let's have a look at that race again, guys, because this is a Group 1 contest. Certainly deserves some more thoughts. So here he is. I think this is the way to ride Excellent Proposal, just to get that drag into the field, ride him cold, let him come with one run. But he's not that far in front of Champions Way in the end. Tom, Mighty Giant, who's up on speed, and Healthy Happy, who is, on this occasion, taking a sit. Of course, he's right outside the Champion Golden 60.
He is, and he just hasn't really come up his last couple of runs. Healthy Happy, I mentioned earlier, he run second in this race last year, but didn't find a great deal last time out. And here he is back in a race carrying a little bit of a weight just up on his last effort, 128. And he's been flushed 3 wide there, Paul, as well as round the outside. Excellent Proposal comes. He's been, I don't want to say a gunner, but he hasn't won this season again, Excellent Proposal. I think he's probably been a little bit on the disappointing side, and there's been a few ordinary runs from him. Yeah,
I agree. And look, his last win, as you mentioned, was in that 4-year-old series when he did win the Classic Mile. I didn't mind the run of Champions Way, though. He's a horse who's been very consistent this season as well. He's got to carry the weight. It's a handicap. But, look, I thought he fought on really nicely here. So he's the one I've included in this race. Yeah, there wasn't a great deal between the two of them there, the two stablemates. This is a Golden 60 again, but this is at Group 2 level. This is the Chairman's Trophy. And this is a huge run from Savvy 9, finishing in 3rd place this day. We've also got Champions Way again in the field, where he's a slight
slightly. That's Russian Emperor. He's behind. Excellent Proposal. He's down on the inside. Cheerful Days, Paul, right at the back. And Healthy Happy, not his best effort.
No, he's, as Tom said, he's out of form at the moment, Healthy Happy. And Savvy Nine's form's just dropped off a little bit as well. He's only won the one from his 31 starts. He's put in a couple of good races behind some good horses as well. But look, he didn't go in for me either.
Matthew Chadwick got 2 days suspension here on the Savvy Nine because he cleaned up Cheerful Days there in the straight. You can see that Excellent Proposal's trying to fight on there. Champion's Way, he's another one that's staying on. And when it comes to Savvy Nine, he battled in the QE2 Cup last time out, and I think just 1600's a little sharp for him.
Of course, Russian Emperor was brilliant in the Champions and Cheddar just last weekend. Who we got here? Well, this is Beauty Joy. So he's the sort of one of the new kids on the block, if you like, Tom. And My Sugar, he'll be carrying a lightweight. He's just one spot in front of him there.
Yeah, I thought it was worth sort of showing it from this point because he seems to be travelling okay, and then he gets the head up and tries to fight Zach, and there he goes again throwing the head up. So he's got a bit of a mind of his own, does Beauty Joy. Wants to do a few things wrong and takes a few awkward strides there and keeps trying to fight Zach Purton, but you can't argue with the ability he's got, Paul.
Oh, no, definitely. And look, he's going to get a really nice run as well. He comes in nicely at the weights, 121 from barrier number 2. So, look, there's a lot of things in his favour going to this. My Sugar, now he's coming into this race with a really light weight as well. He should be a bit of a price as well, My Sugar. He's another one who's drawn nicely enough in barrier number 6. So I've included both these two horses.
It's worth mentioning on Beauty Joy as well. It's not the first time he's done that this season. He did it at Happy Valley a couple of runs ago when he was at the back of the field and wouldn't relax at all. So that's key. He needs to relax.
And he was actually behind Cheerful Days that night as well, beaten 3/4 lengths. But the ability is there, and we can actually see him just at the trials here. This is a good trial. Trillium win on his inside. Lucky Patch and Duke Y in there as well, Tom.
Yeah, we know how well Lucky Patch ran again last week at Sha Tin in the Sha Tin sprint race there. And look, he's down on the inside here is Beauty Joy. He's just had the 7 starts here in Hong Kong, 3 wins, but he seemed to stretch out quite nicely this morning on a rain-affected track, Paul.
Yeah, that was fine, wasn't it? It was a good maintenance trial from him, and he stretched out really nicely and got his head in front there. So, yeah, a nice trial from Beauty Joy. He's going well at the moment, and as you say, his record's pretty good. 3 wins from his 7 starts.
All right, so we can see that highlighted now, and 5 of them just coming this season, Tom. 5 starts, that is.
Yeah, that's right. A couple of placings there as well. A former Western Australian galloper who had produced some good form over there. So they've got a handy one with him, and he's really tested this weekend with his biggest assignment here.
Yeah, and Zach's record there, 3 wins from just 4 starts. This is Silver Express, Tom. John Sar's got a really strong hand in this race. Luke Curry will jump on board.
He ended up last start being 3 wide, no cover in that small field there behind Good Luck Friend, and he has also been back to the trials. He was beaten 3.5 here. Prior to that, he was a winner over Good Luck Friend, Paul, by a head. That was going back to the early part of April.
Yeah, and he did beat Excellent Proposal over the course and distance, the 1,600 metres. He's only been over it once, and he did win. So he's a horse that is going really nicely at the moment, and I think the 1,600 step back up to that's going to really suit him.
All right. Yeah, certainly I think the lower draw, being able to grab that rail will certainly aid his chances as well. Final one we can have a look at, Paul. You mentioned him being off the lightweights, is My Sugar. Gets the weight, but this is clearly a bigger test for him on Sunday.
Yeah, this is going to be his biggest test to date, coming up into group class, this horse. And look, I've always liked him, though. I think he's a nice, big, strong horse. He always fights. He's going to feel loose with only 114 on his back as well. Barrier 6, there's options for him. I don't think you'd want to take on Healthy Happy, though. Healthy Happy can be quite speedy in front. But look, you can see him really fighting. I thought he was clearly headed by CP Brave here, and he fought back and won nicely. So look, I'm going to include him.
He was definitely headed in that vision there. Last time out, thought he had every chance after having a good run on the trail. I thought he just disappointed a little there, and it's a bit of a test here.
He's the best part of 1,200 pounds as well. My Sugar, he's not small by any stretch. Beauty Joy, the favourite, Paul, deservedly?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I'm going to put him on top. Just the way the race pans out with the weights, his barrier draw and everything. I just think he's going to get a lot of things in his favour. He could beat himself. That's the problem with Beauty Joy, though, because he can over-race. But he's on top. Silver Express, 1 from 1 over the course and distance. My Sugar, he goes in there for 3rd with the lightweight. And Champion's Way, he's the opposite. He's got to carry the big weight, but he's such a consistent horse. I didn't want to leave him out. 6, 8, 9 and 2.
Beauty Joy on top for me. I think he's good enough to win this race, as Paul mentioned. So just hopefully there's enough speed on the race and he can relax and not fight Zach Purton. So Beauty Joy, excellent proposal goes. And I'm going to throw in Cheerful Days here with the blinkers going back on. Of course, Toolroom got cleaned up there behind Savvy 9 and Co. A couple of runs to go, but blinkers going back on does interest me. In Champions Way, you look at his barrier trial, very ordinary barrier trial, but brings his best form to the races. 6, 4, 7 and 2.
I think Beauty Joy is the one to beat, but I am a bit of a sucker for excellent proposal. Give him one more chance. This is it, though. 10 races on the programme. Paul, what are we thinking?
I quite like Handsome 12 in race number 1. The step up to the 1650 was the key for him. Light of One, she's been racing really consistently, so I don't mind him earlier in the card. Also, Rocket Spade, he's coming to the all-weather for the first time as well, so I like him. And Massive Action is another horse I've got a lot of time for him, and he led all the way last start, so I quite like him in the 9th.
All right, audio video section on the website for the video previews of each and every one of those 10 races. Of those though, Paul, who was your best?
Going to go with Massive Action. Went to the front last time and won really nicely. He's only had the 5 starts. He's really settled in nicely, and I think he's found his niche here. Voyage Warrior in the last. I quite like this horse as well. He's drawn well. That's the key. He was 4 or 5 wide the whole way last start at Happy Valley and fought on really strongly. He's a better horse at Sha Tin. And we'll do the play in Massive Action's race 9, a QQP, co-partner Ambition, Massive Action, and Eremo, who's the last start winner as well.
Best for me comes up in the main race, the Lion Rock Trophy race 7, number 6, Beauty Joy for Tony Cruz and Zach Purton. He's the best in the Group 3 race over 1,600 metres, and the value comes up in race number 10, horse 8, California Rat, also for Tony Cruz, drawn nicely here. Matthew Poon takes the ride, and that's where the play is as well. The final race on the card with the Trillion Win and Fantastic Treasure also resuming.
Best for me, we'll give Running Glory another chance here. I think it could be a good afternoon for John Size. Antoine Hamlin on board here. Up in trip. Don't think you'll mind the 2,000 metres in the 3rd. Each way, we'll go Millennium Falcon. Down in class and a change in trip as well. I don't think he'd be too far away. Hopefully we can nick an each way price about him. And the QQP in the 3rd, 2, 7 and 8. All right, just about all we got time for. Tom, you've got your play going in the last race. Fantastic Treasure back, and also Packing Victory, who was favourite for the the Classic Mile.
He was, yeah, and he
since.
Pulled up with an issue there, so great to see those couple of horses back in that final race.
Yeah, it's a really good bit of interest, and it's going to be a really good betting race, that one.
All right, that's the show though. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you at Sha Tin on Sunday. We will be racing to win.